It's about that time of day again. My name is Joseph. It's Tuesday evening, April 25th, 2017. This is your nightly newsletter. We're covering crude, S&P, gold, euro, and DAX this evening. Crude looks bullish at the low of a channel tonight, but the recent API report sent prices tumbling off the highs with such strength. We're looking for selling opportunities using a two-legged correction tomorrow. The S&P is bullish with a spike in channel, and we have a falling resistance trend line giving us a great opportunity to buy the dip tomorrow with a two-legged pullback. Gold is bearish with a spike in channel tonight, and we're watching a key support level on the chart that may make our job selling high a little more difficult tomorrow if we're not paying attention. Euro's bullish, and we have a channel and a resistance trend line giving us plenty of information to find some reliable buying opportunities on Wednesday. And of course, the FDAX is bullish with a triangle tonight, kind of a spike in triangle on the DAX, and we have an important resistance level from yesterday's session giving us all the information we need to put a plan together for tomorrow. We continue to see some big moves ahead of the end of the month. We've been talking about that end of the month plan all week here this week. Another big newsletter in store for you guys and gals this evening. Hope you guys were able to formulate a good plan for today's session. Boy, we had some great moves off of last night's newsletter. But of course, we're only as good as our day tomorrow. Let's jump in. Don't forget, the only place to watch the full-length version of this video is on our blog at sidewaysmarkets.com. If you're watching the video right now on our YouTube channel, it's only a snippet on the YouTube channel. Not to worry. In the description of that YouTube video, there's a link in there. Follow that link in the description of that YouTube video. Follow me over here to the blog at Sideways Markets and watch the full-length version of our newsletter tonight. While you're here, don't forget, join the mailing list. I'll send you an email every evening when the nightly newsletter goes live. Follow me on my many different social media channels, lower left-hand corner. I'm always posting important links and charts and updates. I just sent out all the API support and resistance levels for tomorrow on crude oil, so make sure you follow me on social. Right below the video tonight, download all those charts. How easy is that? All the charts from tonight's video, you can have them on your computer for tomorrow, right where it says click here to download today's charts, get those charts for tomorrow's session. Don't forget to grab your free pass, upper right-hand corner, grab that free pass. You're going to learn more with me in 90 minutes on that free pass than you will anywhere else on the interwebs. If you're not a member here at School of Trade, you definitely want to grab that free pass. And while you're here, don't forget to check out that frequently asked questions. Get the who, what, where, when, and why. We're known as the industry standard in futures trading strategies and professional grade education. Check out that frequently asked questions and learn more about what we're all about here at the SOT community. As you guys know, big end of the month coming right around the corner. We've been talking about this here for the last few sessions here on the nightly newsletter, right? Friday, of course, April the 28th is the last trading day of the month of April. We do expect towards the end of the month to have increased volatility and, of course, decreased inhibitions, right? Increased risk. At the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, we do expect traders to take bigger risks as they try to dig themselves out of holes or as they trade with quote-unquote house money, right? We know that the inhibitions go out the window. Traders take bigger risks. So we've been expecting this, right? A lot of volatility into the end of the month, and we're definitely getting it right now. We also talked about this last night, right? And the prior night, we're looking at those prior month levels, right? At the end of the month, we talk about increased volatility. We also talk about finding those prior month high and prior month low levels because they become price magnets, all right? So we got more of those on the chart here for tonight. Looking at the schedule for tomorrow, tomorrow's Wednesday, April the 26th, hump day tomorrow in our trade room at 8 o'clock Eastern time. We really don't have a lot on the calendar tomorrow except for the petroleum status report. You know, all eyes on Wednesdays are on crude oil. Not a lot of major news. We get some minor news from the Bank of Japan. We get some news from China, right, kind of at the extremes there in the overnight sessions tomorrow or tonight and tomorrow night, right? Bottom line, though, is the major news is at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow for the petroleum status report. Now, with that said, anytime we have the inventory report on Wednesday, we know that Tuesday afternoon, we just recently heard from the API report. That's right. Every Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to hear from the API report, and that API report is going to help us project some support and resistance levels for Wednesday's session. So as we go into the crude chart tonight, we'll be talking more about these API inventory levels for tomorrow. You can also grab all those levels below the video tonight, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. So be aware of that tomorrow. Inventories at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. As I always remind you guys, every Wednesday, 15-minute buffer, right? 15-minute heads up. And then again, at least 10 minutes after the news comes out to let that chaos settle down a little bit after the news report comes out. Remember, crude oil is highly, highly impacted by the inventory report. There's a lot of speculation leading up to it every week and a lot of gambling that goes on after the news comes out. So give it 15 minutes, right? A lot of traders stop trading as of 10 a.m. on Wednesday mornings. So get to it early in, early out, right, on a Wednesday if you trade in crude. And again, we'll talk more about the inventory levels in just a moment. So tomorrow's Wednesday, major news at 10:30. Not a lot else to worry about here tomorrow. And again, as we go closer to the end of the month, we do expect to see increased volatility, increased opportunity as well. And again, don't forget, keep an eye on those prior month high and low levels. Now, digging into crude here tonight. We got crude, S&P. Of course, we got some gold, some euro, and the FDAX. First things first, tomorrow is inventory day. Tomorrow is Wednesday. In the lower left-hand corner of this chart, which of course you can download by following the link below this video tonight on our blog, you can see all of the crude oil inventory levels that we're going to be adding for Wednesday's session. These are only for Wednesday. They will not carry over to Thursday or Friday, as you can see that list there on the chart. Now, you don't have to write those numbers down. If you scroll down below the video tonight, there's a little link below the video that says click here to read more. Click that link where it says click here to read more, and it will take you to the full write-up on all 5 of these markets, which you may not have been aware was there the whole entire time. But in that text below the video, you'll find the API levels for tomorrow, and you can copy and paste those and have them ready on your chart as well. So levels for tomorrow are on the lower left-hand corner of this chart. They're also conveniently located, right, if you scroll down below this video and click here to read more. Let's dig in. Crude is bullish, or looks bullish at first, but the reaction to this API's report was so dramatic off the highs, it's hard to believe these buyers will be able to keep control of this market. Now, even the low of this bull channel, right, low of the bull channel, we really, under normal conditions, want to be buying the low of this channel. But sellers so strong coming off the end of this session today, sellers will definitely be looking for a two-legged correction off of this recent low to avoid selling low tomorrow. And their target is back down to retest the low, right, that low down at 48.87. Now, buyers, on the other hand, need to stay patient and make sure these sellers try and fail twice before we have confidence to buy this pullback. Don't forget, tomorrow's inventory report at 10:30 a.m., so get at it early and get out of there early tomorrow. Watch those support and resistance levels that we have listed in the lower left-hand corner. Boy, day starts off today in a very bearish tone. We have one of those kind of flat, wide channels. You know, we talked about that today in our trade room. And of course, right, that flat, wide channel told us keep selling high, keep selling high. But then obviously here towards the end of the morning, just after noontime here, we see a rather explosive move higher. All of this work for the bulls, and they give pretty much most of it right back when the API report came out at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Now, as you can see, this is a pretty nice looking bull channel. I think you could also look at this as a bull wedge if you really wanted to. You could draw that up as a wedge, right, and have that wedge target up around that high of day as well. So bull channel, bull wedge, right, it's up to you. They both have the target going back up to retest the high. Right now, the objective is to retest that high and possibly, if they can push through it, right, up into that big round number at $50 a barrel. Now, the buyers have to stay patient on this first, because this bad boy, right, this big move lower, right, one of the things we always talk about in our trade rooms is that there's a very important strategy when the market turns directions, when it goes from bullish to bearish, or it goes from bearish to bullish, right? Whenever we turn directions, we know this strong move down tells us you're probably going to see those bears coming in, but I don't want to sell this low. So what's the best place to be a seller? It's probably going to look something like this. There'll probably be some sort of two-legged correction here up into what I've called kind of the battle zone, right, and then back down from there. So watch for a trap high, watch for that two-legged correction. It will usually start to find some sort of trend line involved there, get below that trend line, right, and then look for that move back down again. Now, with that said, if the price keeps going lower here, right, if it keeps going lower now, obviously we'd love to get the price up, again, two-legged move, back up into that battle zone so we could sell high. But, in all reality, this is Crude we're talking about. It's got a mind of its own sometimes. So it keeps on going lower. That'll bring the moving average down. And this will pretty much be the same thing, right? 1, 2 legs back. And really the goal of this is the sellers haven't had a chance to sell high yet. Right? A lot of traders overall are not going to be trying to trade, right, during that inventory report at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. I know it seems like a lot of bears will be selling up here, right? But this is with the exception of the long-term swing sellers, sellers who are just scaling into this move as it goes higher, this is a bull market as it went into it, right? So unless you're just trying to pick a top there, most short-term sellers, right, again, long-term sellers undoubtedly here are selling into this move higher. But short-term sellers really got kind of caught off guard, right? And not really caught off guard because we're expecting some chaos during that news report, but they weren't able to sell high. And so whenever I talk about selling low, right, I get kind of an allergic reaction to selling low. I want to sell high. How do you sell high? Traps, two-legged corrections, failures above the moving average. There's a bunch of different ways here, right? This thing, as it pulls back, right? As it pulls back, up above, pull back, right? Pull back, failure, back down, right? As it pulls back. All really depends on how it moves, right? As it pulls back here, two-legged correction, trap high, right, for the ability to sell high, right? The bottom line is, though, is we really want to think traps and failures, two-legged corrections, right, to allow us now to sell high. Because, again, the bears are going to be looking for that chance to sell high. They're not going to want to chase this thing, right, as it goes lower. The target now for the bears is very, very easy. It is back down to retest that low at that 48.87. Now, what are we thinking right now? What are we thinking right now if we want to be a bull? Because in all reality, there is definitely a possibility here that the buyers will be able to hold, even though it is a very sharp pullback. That bull channel always says buy low, right, and retest that high. It's really just this last hour of price action that makes us think these buyers are probably going to be a little bit spooked off this and aren't going to want to buy into that falling knife, right? So we have that prior swing, beautiful place right now, right, to be a buyer. What I really want to look for, though, is if I'm going to be a buyer on this, I first want to make sure we get back above that moving average, back above the moving average, and I want to see this others try twice. Once, twice. If I can see those bears, again, get them once, get them twice. Make those sellers really show us proof that they're trying and failing. Remember, we talk about this all the time in our intermediate and advanced classes on the topic of market psychology. The market's nothing more than a group of people, and people usually try things twice before they give up. So get above that moving average, right? Show us we can get above the moving average first, and then once, twice, I want to see sellers try with separation and significance, right? We'll learn more about that in the advanced classes, and then we can look, right, for that move going back up to retest that high. So a real simple strategy for the buyers: stay patient right now, get back above that moving average, and then we can start watching for those bears trying once, trying twice, right, and then the move right back up to those highs. Again, tomorrow, early in, early out, early in, early out. The buyers are hunting for that retest of the high. The sellers are hunting for a retest of that low. And again, we get inventories at 10:30 a.m. So once the news comes out, right, all hell breaks loose. We'll pick it up where we left off after 10:30 and see what we get as we go into lunch tomorrow. How about some S&P? The Emini S&P is bullish with a spike in channel this evening. And this falling resistance trend line is telling us to look for opportunities to buy the dip using a two-legged pullback into the battle zone tomorrow. One thing that stands out on this chart is that recent trap low that allowed the buyers to buy low earlier in today's session, which basically tells us that the buyers were already able to buy low, right? They're not waiting now to buy low. And that tells us that we may be in store for a deeper correction tomorrow to attract more buyers into this market after this two-day bull run. So when I look at this chart right now, the very first thing I think about is wow, we didn't waste any time in today's session, right? If you're with me this morning in the trade room, I mean, we pretty much knew the minute this market opened up that we were not going to be in a pullback mode today. This thing was going to be pushing up to new highs, and of course, exactly what it did. We're going to trade this plan together with all of our students in the trade room. We open up tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern time. I hope to see you guys there with me tomorrow in real time. While I have a few moments of your time, though, please don't forget, join the free trial. Learn more about how we trade here at School of Trade. You're going to learn a ton off that free trial, all about our trade setups and our technical analysis tools. Don't forget to learn more about what I call the professional trader transformation. I have helped thousands of traders do this the right way in my extensive teaching career. Our beginner, intermediate, and advanced courses, right, are the very best opportunity for you to kickstart a new trading career. And don't forget, I'm always here to help. Hit me up on live support on the right-hand side of the website if you have any questions. And don't forget, if you're watching this video right now on our YouTube channel, it's only a small snippet of the YouTube video or of the entire newsletter. Follow that link in the description of the YouTube video and jump on over to our blog at sidewaysmarkets.com. The link is right there on the homepage of the website, and watch the entire thing. Guys and gals, if I don't see you tomorrow morning in the trade room as an advanced member, I'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.